Some more alcoholing basics and a simple technique with probably something you have around your house. Hang tight and I'll show you how to do it. Hey everyone, I thought I would continue with the alcohol basics, and I wanted to talk to you about resist, or a way of masking off, that kind of thing. And a resist can either be something that you apply on via, like, paint it on, apply on with a bottle, or it could be something like you masking off something with tape. So I did this piece in one of the other basics where we were talking about drips and stuff. And so I thought it would give us a really good background. And what I've done is simply applied some Scotch tape to it. And I don't know if you could see this, it's gone across diagonally. And I even tore down the tape to make it different widths. So you can see the different widths here, going across here, and some of them crisscross. And what I can do is I can apply some other colors to this, or manipulate the alcohol ink and these colors here. Sorry, tongue not working. Okay. These colors here should remain the same. There might be a little bit of bleed under, but this is a fun way of just starting to manipulate and play with this, with the colors, and just show you just something else that you can have in your belt as far as some tools to apply alcohol ink. So let's get started. All right, this one here, we're going to be messing around with a lot of alcohol and the ink, so I definitely want to put my gloves on. Not that I don't mind having color on my fingers. Actually, you know what? I'm taking my gloves off a little bit. I changed my mind. So I'm going to pull off a little piece of tape here. And this is something you can do. It's actually pretty easy. But just get a little bit of Scotch tape. If you're very, very patient with it, you can peel it or start to tear it very easily. And if you're slow about it, you can tear it in little skinny strips. Now, I recommend having something close by that you can stick one piece to, just temporarily, while you work with the other one. And you can even go and split this one. As long as you're pulling opposite of your other hand, you could get it in fairly skinny strips. So this could give you some fun little crisscross sections to play with. And I'm gonna do some that go diagonally, if I can get my finger out of there. Right there, because I like the skinny bits too. And then we're gonna do one that goes diagonally right here. Now, some people like to use Scotch tape also to mask off the frame of the piece to give it more of a finished look. Instead of it going, the ink going edge to edge, you'll have basically a white border. So that's something to think about. Meaning that, just to explain a little bit better, pretend this was a full piece of masking tape, meaning thickness wise, you would just simply press it down either here, or I would recommend having it overlap a little bit. And you see the little gray area there? So that way your piece is nice and clean all the way to the very, very edge. So that's one way of doing it. All right, now we're gonna try the gloves one more time. It's always, you know, it's funny how when you go to teach things and when you do things, because there's a lot of gaps in when it comes to teaching, because the thought processes while you're doing it runs so rapidly. When you have to stop and think about it to describe it, it's like there's a lot of like, wait a minute, oh yeah, this step also and this step also. So it gets tricky when breaking stuff down. All right, so I'm gonna apply some ink to the other areas. And we're gonna let this dry and also pull, let me start that over again. Okay, I'm getting tongue-tied. Okay, I'm gonna apply some ink to this. We're gonna manipulate the colors. Then I'm gonna dry the whole piece and then we'll remove the tape and see what happens. So I'm gonna add some more yellow to this area, mainly because my bottle of yellow is almost out. And I wanna make sure I get, okay, today I'm a klutz, great. I was trying to get every little drip I could out of that bottle. All right, I have another bottle of yellow. So we will just use that. I'm adding more of an orange color here, which happens to be sunset orange. And then I'm gonna add some pinks to this far area here. And then move it around. I may go as far as do some removal and batting or blotting of the inks. And we'll have to see how it goes from here. We are definitely going to, I think, blot some color away and see what happens. All right, so I'm adding a little bit of alcohol to a paper towel. And I'm just gonna gently blot an area and see if I can remove some of the color. Just a little bit. Okay, got quite a bit here. I'm gonna fold my towel over, add a little bit more alcohol. I'm getting down to the purple in here now. I'm gonna even see if I can push it a little bit off. Clean my area off a little bit. When you have a lot of fluid around, it makes it for tricky. Doing artwork and stuff. All right, add a little bit more alcohol, just so we can get a nice watery, watercolor kind of look to it. I'm going to leave this area here just so that you can see the different ways it's going to look when I remove the tape. So this is just an experiment mainly to show you the effect of having the tape on in the first place. So I'm going to pause for a minute. I'm going to clean up the rest of this space here and underneath so that way I can dry the area off and then we can remove the tape. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm glad I did that. There's a lot of ink that had accumulated underneath that, and if we were to start moving this thing around, it would have squished out and made a big mess. So all I did was just very carefully lift this up, and what I would normally do is lift it up and place it someplace else to let it dry normally and then cleaned off my area. But in this case, I lifted it up, cleaned the area, cleaned the back of my piece, and then put it down. So we're good. And time to start peeling some tape up. Actually, I'm gonna peel some little stuff up. So I just go very slowly and peel straight off. Now this technique probably works really good for things that are very smooth surface oriented. When you have a lot of texture, it's hard for the tape to adhere very cleanly. And you would definitely get some seepage underneath. So you can see how this could work really, really well if you masked off an area to keep your piece nice and clean. Or just doing some little funky designs and have some fun with it. And this is just basic Scotch tape. All right, so apparently this tape is going over top, and so what I'm going to do here is just very carefully start that one and go across. Okay, I'm going to hold that, go across all the way, get it off my fingers, and then continue on. Now I took my gloves off mainly so that I don't risk any transferring because my hands are clean. So, let me bring you guys in for a close-up. Now I know this is kind of wild, but this gives you an idea of just a different technique and a way to play with this. Just by using tape. And so you have two completely different patterns going on here. You have the definite drip pattern going on, and I could have continued and made a different drip technique on this side too if I wanted to, so it would be contrasting drips. Or it could be one was very, very soft and then one was very dramatic. In this case, we've got really dark, rich tones and almost muted tones here. So very contrasty. You can even play with some fun and do, say, sunset beams or something like that going across. So there's a lot of possibilities, just up to imagination, but something else you can have in your tool belt as far as some techniques. So hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. More importantly, hit that bell to get notified next time I put a video up. Later, y'all.